Hi, welcome to Inside the Focus Studio. I'm Connie Staley, your host. Our guest today, you'll recognize Ethan Cole, played by Josh. Hi, Josh.
Hey, Connie. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being with us today. Now, Josh, your character in the book struggled with some learning disabilities, didn't he?
Yeah.
For this reason, he wasn't really ever very into school, but other than that, he was a pretty passionate guy, right?
Yeah, he loves skateboarding. He was diagnosed with dyslexia and ADD, so school was never really his forte, but he was really good with geometry and art and music. But skateboarding was pretty much his life. His dream was to become a professional skateboarder, but he decided to take a little bit of time off from school to kind of find himself. So.
Okay. Now, Ethan's parents always supported him no matter what, and he told him he could do anything he wanted to do, be anything he wanted to be. Do you believe this, that people can be absolutely anything as long as they really put their minds to it?
Yeah, I for sure do. I mean, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to, do what makes you happy, and I think if you put your mind to it, you can do whatever you want to. So.
After playing this role and being a part of the chapter, Josh, have you thought any more about your own aspirations and goals?
Yeah, it's really helped me. I've thought about going to New Zealand, actually, to be a teacher, and struggling with whether I should stay here and do something a little more stable, a little more normal, versus just dropping everything and going to New Zealand. It really kind of puts it in perspective. It shows how important it really is to, follow your dreams and do what makes you happy.
Okay. We set out to see what kind of majors students today are choosing, and if and how their dreams have changed since they were kids. Take a look.
I wanted to be a cowboy.
A professional horseback rider.
Astronaut.
I wanted to be a ballerina.
I'm an environmental science major.
Pre-med.
Economics.
I'm a business major.
So what does this mean? Does it mean that as a generation we're tossing aside our dreams for the sake of practicality? Are we simply too lazy and scared to go after that dream career? Can we be anything that we want to be? My mission was clear. I had to figure out what was causing students to pursue careers other than the ones they had once had their hearts set on.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate your school's space travel program?
Well, we don't have a space travel program.
Interesting. My nephew wants to be a fireman, but sometimes he says he wants to be a race car driver. If he were to get into this school, theoretically, could he pursue a double major?
Theoretically, yes, but at this moment we don't offer a major in either of those disciplines.
Really? Do you offer an equestrian program?
Well, that's another one. At this point, we don't have an equestrian program at this campus.
I spoke to a student earlier who wanted to do something related to horses. Would she have to choose a different major?
She'd have to probably choose biology as a major.
Okay, that's not horses. On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate your cowboy studies program?
At this point, we don't have a program in cowboy studies.
You don't?
So we can't rate it right now.
So what do you offer?
Well, we offer majors in the usual 3 areas of liberal arts studies, in the hard sciences, in the social sciences, and in the humanities.
The answer was becoming clear. Kids are giving up on their dreams simply because schools don't offer what it is they want to study. Looking at the course book, I couldn't find any of the careers that my research had showed me most kids are interested in. It was hopeless. Something had to be done. I decided to take action.
I would hold a meeting to make students aware of why they're being denied their right to pursue their dreams. When no one showed up at the meeting, I started to wonder, maybe I was wrong. Maybe choosing a career isn't about chasing your wildest childhood fantasy, but rather it's about finding something you're good at, and most importantly, something that would make you happy enough to spend the rest of your life doing.
Okay, I think we all learned a lot from that report. Very informative. Now let's open up the floor for some questions.
Hi, I'm Whitney, and I'm a communications major. Talks about college in a box. What does that mean?
I think a lot of students see their college experience as boxed courses. So English is here, physics is here, art is here, and they don't really see any integration between the disciplines. Knowledge, of course, is integrated. It doesn't exist in discrete boxes. I think sometimes students see college as a very long checklist, and when they finally check off enough boxes and have enough credits in something, then they're finished and they earn a degree. I'm more interested in the integration of knowledge and helping students see connections between the disciplines, because I think that's extremely important.
Hi, I'm Emily, and I'm a psychology major. And I was wondering, what is a SWOT analysis, and how does it relate to choosing a major in a career?
A SWOT analysis, SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Take a look at a SWOT analysis for Ethan. And so what are his strengths? What are his weaknesses? What opportunities are there, and what threats are there in terms of this dream that he has of becoming a professional skateboarder? Is that a good choice for him, or would something else be a good choice, and if so, what? I think it's a good way to take a look at yourself and analyze your possibilities in all four of those areas and really make some determinations about a major and a career.
Hi, my name's Drace, and I'm a psychology and a communication major, and I read your section about focusing your eyes, and I found it to be pretty interesting. Could you discuss that a little further?
Focusing your eyes has to do with the work of Levine, who talks about the fact that there are four areas in which young people sometimes have difficulty transitioning into adulthood and into the world of work. And they all happen to start with eyes. He talks about inner direction, really knowing yourself. He talks about interaction in terms of building strong, positive relationships. He talks about interpretation, really understanding what you're learning as opposed to just memorizing things for an exam. And he talks about instrumentation, which is the toolkit that we need, not only for college, but for a career later on, whether it's writing or math skills or whatever. But those four things are important, and actually those four things are what first-year seminar courses happen to be about.
Hi, I'm Ashley, and I'm a communications major. I'm really intrigued by the circle of learning. What's that all about?
The circle of learning is an interesting way of looking at the transitions and the relationships between disciplines. So there's a chart that starts out with mathematics, which is a fundamental language, just like spoken language, and then looks at which discipline uses math a great deal to do its work, and it moves to physics. And then from physics, it moves to chemistry and biology and all the way around the circle of learning up through philosophy, which has a subdiscipline called number theory, which brings us right back to math. So it's a way of looking at the relationships between what students are learning in, I think, a new way that most students really haven't considered.
Hi, I'm Hannah, and I'm a first-year nursing student. In Focus, you say that majors and careers aren't related. I always thought they were. Can you explain that?
I think majors and careers really are related, but they aren't necessarily the same thing. For example, Josh might want to teach science. He might primarily want to be a teacher, but he happens to be interested in somewhat in geography, somewhat in biology, and somewhat in chemistry, but his primary goal is to become a teacher. On the other hand, maybe he wants to major in chemistry. He's fixed on that, but he's not sure if he wants to be a forensic scientist, or he wants to be a teacher, or he wants to do theoretical research, or exactly how he wants to use his chemistry degree. So the chapter takes a close look at majors and careers and talks about some of the distinctions and some of the similarities. Thank you for your questions. Some great things to think about there. Now, before we let Josh go, I have the dreaded blue questions for you, all right?
All right.
First thing that pops into your mind. Best thing about being a first-year student.
The opportunity to try new things.
Worst thing about being a first-year student.
Being too shy, I guess. Not knowing anybody.
Okay. Finish this sentence. I like teachers who
take an interest in their students.
Okay. Now finish this sentence. I don't like teachers who...
think they know everything.
Okay. What's your VARC learning style, Josh?
Visual and kinesthetic.
Okay, makes sense. If there's a secret to managing your time, what is it?
Actually taking a set amount of time out of your day to do it, to just look at your schedule and manage it.
On a daily basis, okay. What's your dream career?
Meeting people, just getting to know people. If I could get paid to do that, that's what I would like to do for the rest of my life.
Okay. MySpace or Facebook?
Facebook, for sure.
Okay. And finally, after you graduate, how would you like to be remembered?
As somebody who, was compassionate and would do anything for the people around him.
Thanks, Josh, for being our guest today. As always, you're a lot of fun to talk to.
It was fun being here.
So for Josh and me and all of the folks here at Inside the Focus Studio, thanks for being with us today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.